Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 90th minute. We are your hosts. We got Woz, Lucas, Greg, myself, Liam. If you are new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed on YouTube, following along on any and all social medias, including audio apps. Links are in the description for those. Check us out on Instagram. We're bumping over there. And same with TikTok. We're doing fantabulous things. Shout out to Woz and Lucas for running that one. But as you see, if you are a returning viewer, we're back on Discord, at least for this week. You know what? We'll play it safe every once in a while. So you know what? Numbers of COVID are getting high again. So we say, you know what? Let's go back home and let's just be safe. Anyways,
safe.
Well, we all have mics now, so hopefully the quality's better.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Also, anyone listening to audio apps, just thank you for your time. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate you. Give us some good ratings, 5-star reviews, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But actually, I should say we've kicked off our FIFA 21 career mode, our first ones. Make sure you check that out on our YouTube channel. So youtube.com/the90th minute, or if you're already on here, check that out. But let's get into the week of football. It's been an interesting week with some international fixtures as well as transfer deadline day and some big news stories. And of course, at the end of the podcast, we will answer all of your guys' questions. So
a couple, yeah.
We'll answer a few of your questions. Then we'll be here for 6 hours.
All would be a lot, Liam. Yes.
And Greg will be tired because he has to work at 5 a.m.
Unlucky.
Where should we start in terms of international football this week?
Let's go with your national team, Scotland. There's been a lot of hype.
Yes, let's do it.
There's been a lot of hype. We have a lot of Scottish supporters. So
boys, we're one match away from a European tournament. Woohoo!
Yeah.
When is that match?
The match against Serbia?
Yeah,
like November.
Great question.
It's November.
Okay.
It's like November 18th or something. Somewhere around there.
We've actually hit decent form and we had to wait a month. My God.
Yep.
November 12th.
Scotland, in terms of November 12th. In terms of Scotland, we've got a big result over Israel in our Euro 2021 playoff match. 5-4 on penalties. I was happy. The only thing I wasn't happy about in that match was Nir Biton, the Celtic player playing for Israel. He got COVID.
Yeah,
that's not good. So now we're down 3 players at least for the next game. And we won today in our Nations League. We won 1-0 over Slovenia or Slovakia. Who was it?
Slovakia, I think.
It was Slovakia.
It's Slovakia.
It was Slovakia. I should have looked this up. You know, I wasn't expecting to start with Scotland. I gotta be honest with you.
But Liam, are you excited? Are you looking forward to potentially qualifying for the Euros?
I would be very happy. I've never seen. Well, the last international tournament Scotland was in was 1997, and that was the year I was born. So I do not remember that. So
that'd be exciting.
Yeah, I'd be very happy to see. Well, I hope if Scotland do qualify for an international tournament, I hope the fans are allowed at the games, because the Tartan army needs to follow and needs to support the team. That's the only way I could see Scotland doing anything.
I gotta apologize, but I am cheering for Serbia. So
why are you cheering for Serbia?
Mitrovic.
Why? You're not even Serbian.
I'm cheering for my player.
No, that's bullcrap. You're cheering for your player. You see me cheering for Spain because David De Gea is playing for Spain? No. No,
I'm not cheering for Serbia.
He has more reason to cheer for Serbia than he has to cheer for Scotland.
That's the point.
You can cheer for Scotland to help your friend out. Come on. That's disrespectful. I can't get behind that.
I'll get behind Poland.
Yeah, exactly. That's
big ups, Roberto.
But your opponent for that qualifying match next month is Serbia. Are you a little worried? They're looking quite good. They beat Norway.
Of course I'm worried. It's Scotland and qualifying. Of course I'm worried. We could be playing Moldova and I'd be worried. They are looking good right now, Serbia. They are looking. I mean, Mitrovic is on his day a deadly goal scorer, and we'll see what happens with him. But no, I'm hoping we're able to do something.
So let's make some predictions for these qualifiers that are next month. But why not do them now? So we'll do Serbia, Scotland last. But first for I think Pool D or whatever, it's Georgia versus North Macedonia. Who you got in that one?
I'm going with North Macedonia because they got a good result, actually.
I'm going with North Macedonia. Who are they playing?
Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh, Jesus, that's a terrible game. I think North Macedonia has the upper hand. I think they have more quality. They have a couple players I've
one
heard of.
player for North Macedonia. Name one. No Googles. No Googles.
I know there's been a few players that are more notable to play for North Macedonia than Georgia. I don't know a single player from Georgia. I've seen a couple few North Macedonian flags in FIFA. So, yeah, let's be real here.
I'm gonna go with Georgia because I know one guy on Georgia called Kvaratskhelia. He's a pretty promising guy who plays for Ruben Kazan. I read.
Do you?
Well, do you know like the Guardians like top 60 players of the future, whatever they put every year? Yeah, he was on there with another Georgian a few years ago.
Is the Guardian really reliable though?
Well, maybe later on we can go through some of the players, because some of them is pretty tragic. But
I'll go 2-1 Georgia.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sure. I'll go 1-0 Macedonia.
I gotta say I don't know why we're predicting this.
Yeah,
but...
that's a.
Well,
what's our next game, Lucas?
Predict something more notable.
Okay, so Scotland, they're in C, right?
I believe so.
So yeah, we'll do that. We'll do B. So Northern Ireland versus Slovakia. Who's winning that one?
Northern Ireland.
It'll be a draw, 1-1.
They've been in shite form, but it can't be a draw.
It can't be a draw.
Someone has to qualify.
Slovakia.
Someone's going to the Euros.
Slovakia will win.
Northern Ireland have not been in the best of form recently, but
I mean, I heard
give them a shout.
I heard they played well against Bosnia,
but they lost.
No, they won so that they could.
They beat Bosnia, but they lost in their Nations League, did they not? They lost 1-0 to Austria.
I mean, Austria is a better team than Northern Ireland. Let's be real; they're in the Euros.
I'm gonna go Slovakia. Let's go 2-1 in penalties.
Or I'll go with Northern Ireland. I'll show them some love. Maybe like a 2-1 victory.
2-1 in penalties. Is everyone missing or what?
Yeah, honestly, that's terrible.
No. Like it's the final result will be 2-1 because of penalties.
He's not saying that the penalty shootout's going to end 2-1.
It's 1-1 and 1-1. But the never mind.
Start this podcast it's all Waz's fault. He kicked it off in Scotland. I wasn't ready for that.
Should be, man.
Yeah, but so the Pool A one is Hungary versus Iceland. I think this is probably the most interesting one.
Hungary.
I mean, both sides were in the Euros last time around, so one of them is missing out.
Hungary's looking real good right now, though.
Yeah, Szoboszlai, Gulashki.
Yanis Hadji.
Hadji's Romanian.
He is Romanian, you're right.
I was gonna say what?
Well, you're not a Rangers supporter, so that's okay.
I'm not.
That's still like.
But yeah, he's the son of the Romanian
legend Hadji.
Yeah, after you said that, you go, yeah, you're right, he is Romanian.
Oh gosh, this podcast has been a mess.
This is what happens when we go back on Discord, boys.
The start is so bad. You know who else is Hungarian, Greg? Peter.
True.
Well, to be fair, it's more so international football can be so dry this time of the year.
We'll get into the dry football.
Yeah,
there's a few qualifiers and Nations League, and I miss club football, even though club football will likely get shut down soon.
Okay, so I'm saying Hungary. Who are y'all saying?
I'm gonna go Hungary too.
Yeah, I was going Hungary.
I'll go Hungary, sure, yeah.
Okay, our final game.
Serbia, Scotland. Liam, you go last. I'm going Scotland.
Serbia 3-0.
It will likely be Serbia 2-1.
Chances are it will be Serbia, but I gotta give Scotland a shout. I'll go.
I hope Scotland wins.
1-0. The reason I say Scotland 1-0 is because the game against Israel, we did not have a single shot on net all 90 minutes. Actually, it was 108. It was the game plus extra time. Not a single shot on net. Then today, when we won 1-0, we had one shot on net. So clearly, we're not a very attacking team. So Scotland wins 1-0.
I thought Scotland's coach was
Serbia
actually
just has
Yeah, but it doesn't matter with the coach, Lucas. We have trash playing for us.
Greg, sorry, I interrupted you.
Serbia just has actually a lot of talent in their squad.
Yeah, Milinkovic,
Yeah, but
Savic.
it doesn't gel well.
I mean,
It doesn't gel well.
it
They
gelled
should
well
be,
in their last
ideally,
match.
they should be qualified. That was the last match throughout qualifiers. They should have qualified. That's no excuse.
But you're predicting Serbia to
One
beat
match that-
Scotland.
I understand it shouldn't be hard to beat Scotland with the quality they have, but they should have qualified.
That's what I was saying, that they have.
They should have qualified automatically. Like, come on, Serbia has good players, but I've heard they're
Scotty McTominay. Come
Eh,
on,
we had John McGinn in there.
John McGinn,
Robertson.
Ryan Fraser,
Who do you-
Callum
who-
McGregor.
Scotland's not a bad team. I
God.
think.
I
Hey,
mean,
Andy
they're not great.
Robertson?
No offense. To say that they're not, to say they're a great team, it's like saying they'll get through the knockout stage of the Euros. It just won't happen.
Never
Great
know.
teams do that,
Eh.
Greg.
I didn't say great team. I said not bad.
I'm gonna disagree with your opinion.
They're not horrible.
Our
That-
issues
I-
are scoring. Like, our issues
No
up
offense.
front were not good.
Yeah, up front, I can't name a single Scottish striker.
McBurney?
Who is it?
What do you mean,
Bernie?
McBurney?
Well, that's what
Griffiths.
you're relying on for goals, hey?
Griffiths isn't playing
I'm
anymore.
sorry. I'm
Luke
sorry to
Griffiths
all the
is
Scottish
down.
listeners. Just look, I know the Polish national team has its issues as well. Trust me.
Well,
You just have Lewandowski is all you have.
hey, we'll talk about it later. but-
Anyways,
Yep.
let's move on.
So international football was here, of course. Let's just before we get into the other
Yeah.
matches, what do you guys think about international football?
It should not have happened.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Liam. Although
The
it's
amount of
like
players who've come back with COVID is shocking.
Yeah.
that. I mean, in general, I used to like international qualifiers, but I just want tournaments. Honestly, we didn't get the Euros this year.
Yeah.
And it's a mess right now. The schedules are everywhere. It's hard to keep track of. I feel.
Yeah, and we have
Like, I don't mind the Nations League, but again, it's not a good time for everyone to go around on international duty and everything. But it just takes away from also the leagues and everything when it's just starting to get into it again.
And I think if you look at the results of this week's Nations League, I don't even think the players really care about it. It's not the top of their priorities at the moment. They're trying to get fit still for domestic leagues and everything. I mean, there was not a ton of goals scored.
There was nothing crazy.
over
I mean,
Romania,
the big
4-0.
headline definitely was Mexico beating the Dutch. I know Mexican
Yeah.
fans are raving about that. Well, the
mean,
Dutch
that
are
was-
pretty good.
That was just an international friendly. It wasn't the Nations League.
Yeah.
I know, but still, everyone's wondering what are our thoughts on Mexico beating the Dutch.
well, apparently the
Yeah.
Dutch they got De Boer as coach now, which a lot of Dutch supporters are not very happy about him
Yeah.
being there.
We'll go quickly over some of the notable Nations League fixtures. Germany beat the Ukraine 2-1. Spain beat Switzerland 1-0. Now I know Lucas, you did a TikTok on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I loved your because Lucas always does 4 points to a game, four things he notices. I love number 4, Adama. Adama came on and just ran.
Yeah, I
but that was a
prefer the
good
fact
win for-
that Oyarzabal scored.
I mean, to be
Yes,
fair,
that's my favorite player,
Spain
yes.
weren't really that good. They didn't even have a striker on the pitch for most of the match, and their goal was pretty much because Xhaka slipped and couldn't get to Sommer's pass, so they got the ball and scored.
Mhm.
Very high pressing, which is very different in international football, I guess.
Today on the Sunday fixtures, interesting results were, I say, France tying Portugal 0-0. I mean, so much talent on that pitch, attacking wise, and for it to be a goalless draw, you're like,
So much
okay.
talent on that team,
Um,
defensive wise, though.
That is a good point, but you would think between Ronaldo and Mbappe and Griezmann and the list goes on and on, you'd be able to score a goal.
Well, if you're facing each other, maybe they were just sitting back deeper, and less space was given.
100%.
Uh,
100%. Norway, they beat Romania 4-0. It was a tough week for Norway. They got knocked out of the Euro Championship qualifiers.
mhm.
Sorry, Haaland.
But he scored a hat trick here.
Yeah, so when he comes out crushing Patrick, yeah.
We did. And then England, they beat Belgium 2-1. Good result for them. I mean, a comeback victory for the Three Lions.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be going into the Euros in pretty good form, actually.
Yeah, although the goal
Hopefully
was
there is a Euros in the year.
Although their game winning goal was a little lucky, but
it was very lucky. Carrasco missed like 5 chances. Honestly, I swear.
But did you see De Bruyne's pass?
Yeah, I mean, that's just De Bruyne.
Kevin.
Germany got a result against the Ukraine the other day.
Yeah, I heard the German fans weren't happy from their team.
No, neither was Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger wasn't happy. He doesn't like the way that the German national team has had it. He's just not a big fan.
He said like something about like not relating to the team anymore or something.
Something like that. It's just the team's not, I guess, gelling. So it's kind of hard to get some international football here in Canada to watch on TV.
No, it's free.
I haven't watched a single second
it's
of
free,
it.
apparently. There you go.
UEFA.tv. We can watch it for free in Canada at least.
Bosnia and the Netherlands, they drew 0-0, so 2 bad results for the Netherlands in this past week. And then we'll talk about you boys. Poland, 0-0 against Italy. That's not terrible.
Yeah, we didn't.
That's okay.
It's a decent result.
I mean, outside of us getting into the final third, I thought we played pretty good for the most part. Just whenever Poland gets to the final third, they just, except for like on 2 occasions, they just couldn't make the final pass or final decision. And it was kind of getting frustrating.
Was Lewandowski playing?
Yeah, he was. He was getting like marked by multiple people.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They've been playing the same way for the past like 4 years. I swear to God.
I mean, I wouldn't say so. I think this is one of their better games in the past handful of years. They're obviously pretty dangerous on the counterattack. They just, again, like the final ball, they just are struggling with that at times.
Yeah, they don't know what to do with it. I feel sometimes.
Get the ball to Robert.
Pretty much, honestly.
It's not as simple as you think.
I know, but like
there are a couple more.
Yeah, here's the thing with the Polish national team. People are like, "Oh, Robert Lewandowski doesn't do anything in big tournaments," and no. It's because the supporting cast around him doesn't do much. He doesn't get any service. He's not Cristiano Ronaldo, where he can take a ball from like half and score.
Yeah,
like,
I'm sorry, he's marked out of games too.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way the Polish national team is managed and the system they have is just not good for Robert Lewandowski.
Yeah.
So
there are a couple more match days in the Nations League this month.
Oh, fantastic.
Big games, I would say, would be Germany versus Switzerland. That could be an interesting match, as well as Ukraine versus Spain.
I generally feel if it's an international friendly, it should be called off. If it's a Nations League game, play it. If it's a friendly, let the players stay home and isolate from fucking COVID. Apologies for my language. If I'm being honest, what's the point of a friendly right now? What's the point? Honestly. No fans are allowed in the stadium. Yeah. You have maybe 2 every couple months. What's
Even
the point?
For Nations League, I mean, do you really want to think about how many people have to travel for that game to occur? Like, that's a lot of people to.
And this is like top players too. Not like. I don't even mean
the way I look at it. I don't see
the Republic of Ireland had like 3 or 4 players have to miss today's match.
Well, the way I see it, it's like
have a couple players.
We went so many years without having the Nations League.
I think though, to play devil's advocate, obviously we're in a pandemic and it doesn't really make sense to have players travel across different continents for international friendlies. But the thing is, with like the Euros at least, like. There's these national team players have to play with each other at some point. It'd be kind of difficult for them just to have a small training camp right before the Euros to prepare. Like, other than that,
mean, ultimately, I think this Euros is going to be a very interesting and different tournament. Like,
it also depends if the pandemic's still happening when that comes around.
Like the fact that this is a special tournament where it's not just one host country, it's all of Europe. Think of how many people are going to be traveling and flights and teams and fans and everything. It's going to be so difficult to get everything kind of organized. Like I have doubts about it even happening in the next summer.
Well,
unfortunately, it's one of those things where they might even consider just canceling the whole Euros for 2021 and just focus on the World Cup.
Yeah,
but like World Cup qualifiers still need to happen, and that's gonna be rushed to hell probably.
Like we don't know what the future is gonna look like. Honestly, it could be bad, it could be good. At the end of the day, we can't just be very neglecting or be down on everything. We have to be optimistic.
Be positive. We want the Euros. We want to see it, but we want to see it in a good way, not in a bad way.
You gotta be realistic here, though.
Oh, 100%.
ultimately, just to wrap up this Nations League quickly, Italy, Netherlands. We'll see what happens with that one. Poland, you guys take on Bosnia Herzegovina. That could be a tough game for you guys. You never know.
We
Potentially,
beat them
yeah.
last time. I think we can beat them again.
Yeah. England played Denmark. Iceland played Belgium. Croatia played France. Rematch of the World Cup final. Portugal host Sweden.
How the
Norway
France
versus
game
Northern Ireland.
and Portugal played France.
We already talked about it.
Oh, did I miss that? I was Jesus. I guess I zoned out for a sec. Probably. That's international football for you, I guess.
Scotland, Czech Republic. That's pretty much
international football, man.
international. There you go, boys. This is a podcast right now. This is going.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
There's more interesting topics out there right now, I think.
Let's move on. What do you want to move on to?
The what's happening in the UK with not only like subscriptions, but also how the top 6 want to take over the English football.
yeah. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about the big one. How Manchester United, Liverpool, and I think another number of other clubs. What is it? They want to change how English football is.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's called Project Big Picture, and I got the list of items here. I can read them one by one.
Some more important.
Okay, so the initial idea of this was to help lower league and lower league clubs, and I think non-league clubs as well through this pandemic, and give them a loan of money so that they could sustain themselves. So like that would include 250 million to these EFL clubs to compensate them for like lost match day revenue. But then this next point here is kind of eyebrow raising, I would say. Special status for the 9 longest serving clubs in the Premier League, and the vote of only 6 of those long-term shareholders required to make major changes in, I guess, the leagues, including amending rules and regulations, agreeing contracts, removal of the chief executive, and wide-range veto, including on club ownership.
I don't know how I feel about that.
The top of the top want to have almost control over the league.
Yeah. Kind of like franchises.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I feel like that only works in the North American sports. Like that franchising idea.
Yeah.
I feel like the way it's, I mean, ideally it's like, yeah, these lower teams need money, but
the lower
why do you
teams need to be rescued?
Yeah, but
they're
ideally,
suffering really badly.
Yeah.
it's like, but why do all these top clubs need to have so much control just to give them money?
Yeah. Like
Because they want their money back.
I know.
Because like football, it like in England especially, like it's completely different compared to other sports in like USA or something. Like football is pretty much built on communities and stuff like that, and the fans, and it's kind of been going away from that as time has been going on. And
I mean, especially still like the lower team, like the lower divisions, they are completely reliant on match day sales and jersey sales. So they're the ones that are suffering the most. Premier League clubs should be, at least on paper, all right. They get hundreds of millions of pounds every year from TV deals and kit deals and sponsorships and everything. The fact that teams like Arsenal have to lay off Gunnersaurus to survive is honestly, it's a joke. When your top executives and your CEOs are making hundreds of thousands of pounds a year, this club is a joke.
And they're spending so much money. They literally spent like 40 something million or 50 something million on Thomas Partey on the day.
Yeah, and then
this is dumb.
And then you look at clubs like Bury, who literally died because they were poorly run. No one helped them. There was no investment into the club, and it's, I don't know. I'm tired of these big clubs. Like the fact that wasn't it Spurs that wanted like tax handouts from the UK government?
Yeah, and Liverpool. I think.
It's like, you're a multi-billion-dollar club with one of the biggest stadiums in the world. What? Like?
Yeah, and
Lucas.
obviously I'm a Liverpool supporter, but I find this just really distasteful from what is happening with this. But we'll go through some other points going on. So
and also, I mean, from a Manchester United fan's point of view, I would say focus on the club for God's sake, and not the rest of the league. We have bigger issues at hand than the rest.
Well,
of the
they are
league.
focusing on their club. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about how they can make more money in the future.
Cool.
It's Glazers. How are we getting more money?
Yeah.
Yeah, commercial success is more important on the pitch.
And FSG is kind of similar too because they're based in America, based on Boston Red Sox as well. Yeah,
That's your back your manager.
but that's not the important thing here. But moving on to other points, Premier League. Well, they suggested Premier League to go from 20 clubs to 18. What do you think about that?
I mean,
And
I
the reasoning
don't.
was what?
I don't like
Did you
that. I
give a
feel like
reason why
isn't the
they thought that was the
Bundesliga
best
kind of like
number?
that? Bundesliga have 18 teams.
Yeah, the Bundesliga is like that, and they would also have like
I would.
a promotion playoffs, so where it'd be the 16th bottom two would get relegated, so 18, 17, and then 16th place would go to the playoff with 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I think, in a mini tournament to get a spot for the Premier League.
Yeah. That's like what we do here in Canada as well. Like I know like some of our little divisions do that just for our men's league stuff.
Yeah, but
Ultimately I can't see this happening because I mean the Premier League is pretty, at least in my mind, is pretty set in stone. I think too many owners, too many people that would be opposed to this deal. It's just interesting to see that all these clubs like, seem to be kind of at unrest with the Premier League. Like, I remember, was it like last year or 2 years ago, there was a talk about the European Super League and all these clubs wanted to break away from domestic leagues.
Yeah.
So obviously these big clubs think they can do better than what they're getting right now, especially financially. So I don't know. Obviously these clubs are not happy with what they're getting right now.
oh, it's greed. It's greed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, simple as that. I don't know.
And then
It's the rich. It's the rich wanting more.
yeah,
The rich want to get richer.
it's really just life,
Yeah.
really. Rich wanting more, and that's happening in football.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Which,
Unfortunately, yeah.
and then this one's just a little ridiculous. £100 million one-off gift to the FA.
Just give the FA 100 million
Yeah.
for what?
They say it's to cover its coronavirus losses, the non-league game, the women's game, the grassroots. But a lot of people on the internet are just thinking, oh, it's just a bribe.
Yeah, honestly, if anything,
It's a
it's
fancy.
like here,
bribe, you know?
just here, take your money, leave us alone, and we'll take care of everything.
Yeah, that's all.
But
Yeah.
in a way, it's an excuse for the top owners. Okay, let's just get rid of VAR. Let's get rid of this and that, and do this and that, and just make how we want it.
Yeah.
Do you actually think this will have any credibility? Do you actually think?
Well, to be fair, in this, there's a bunch of stuff in here that has some good stuff to it, but obviously they add this bad stuff, which
Like
Oh,
what
they
kind of
also
good
said
stuff
they-
is there?
They
Oh.
also said they would want to get rid of the Community Shield and the Carabao
Yeah.
Cup.
now,
Which I'm okay with because they're kind of useless competitions.
but for the thing is, the Carabao Cup is very good for the lower league teams.
Small teams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Get the small teams more involved and everything. Yeah.
more revenue.
Yeah.
But then again, the Carabao
More
Cup doesn't.
pride-eating scandals.
The Carabao Cup doesn't necessarily matter right now since there's no fans coming in the stadium. I mean, in a sense, there's still value to it, but not as high as it would be for the lower teams.
Yeah.
Well, the
Yeah,
lower
and
teams,
also-
especially like you get a good draw.
Also, if you are a supporter of a lower Premier League team or a team in the Championship or below, please comment your thoughts on any of these things.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah,
100%.
like some of the good things, I guess, to cover up the bad things, at least attempt to cover up, I would say. So 8.5% of annual net Premier League revenue to go to operating costs and good causes, including the FA. Oh, yeah, I actually don't know if that's good. But from the remainder, 25% of all combined Premier League and Football League revenues go to EFL clubs. 6% of Premier League gross revenues to pay for stadium improvements across the top 4 divisions, calculated as £100 per seat.
I don't know. It just seems to be a lot of numbers being tossed around.
Well, of course, it's numbers have to be tossed around with.
Oh yeah.
But what
No.
I'm saying, they're trying to make it look the numbers, but it's actually, what is it actually like bringing to these clubs?
They're just trying to toss in a bunch of numbers to make it seem like it's a good thing when it's actually just better for all of
For
them.
them.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, they want to have later Premier League starts in August to, later Premier League starts. And they wanted to change the loan system, allowing clubs to have 15 players out on loan domestically at any one time, and up to 4 at a single club in England. Which I feel that just benefits the top clubs, really.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in terms, it would also benefit the lower clubs by getting more players, like better players out on loan. But it benefits the big clubs in the long term.
You're getting playing time for the bigger players, so then they can get more money based off those players.
Yeah.
So I see that.
Like the big clubs could just loan hoard pretty much what Chelsea has been doing in somewhat Manchester City.
Yeah.
Like there is good things in there, but the bad stuff that is in there as well should mean that this should not be approved, in my opinion.
I don't think it will.
No.
Yeah, no.
And then there's also the other news coming out of England that they're now charging people £15 per pay-per-view per Premier League match, which just sounds so dumb.
Oh, think how expensive that actually is.
That's
20
bucks or more. Yeah.
Yeah,
like every game.
Plus, like you got to think they're already paying for television, like in everything like that, and cable to like watch these matches, and now you're making them.
In England, you have to pay for BT Sport, Sky Sport, and sometimes even Amazon
That's what
Prime.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
When I go to Scotland, honestly, I get worse coverage of football there than I do when I'm here, because there you have to pay for all the different individual channels. And unless if you are like a diehard fan who wants to watch every game, you're not going to pay that extra money just to watch a football game here or there, kind of thing. So for me, when I go there, if I want to watch a specific match, I go to a pub or I go to a restaurant or something like that. When I'm home, I can watch it on TV.
And the thing is, people find that concerning too, because with coronavirus, people are going to want to go to pubs to watch the matches, and that's going to whoever thought of this was really thinking money.
100%. How can I fill my pockets?
Yeah, let's put this in perspective to maybe our British audience or other audiences.
Yeah.
So £14.95 for one game. For us in Canadian, that's $25.56 on the current exchange rate.
I wouldn't do that.
So paying for one match a month in the Premier League, it is more than 1 month for Premier League coverage in Canada, because the Zone, we pay $150 Canadian a year, which equates to around $12 a month, and that includes
to every game.
Premier League,
as long as Premier League, Serie A,
Champions
League, Champions League,
Europa League,
MLS,
as well as other sports as well.
NFL, MLB, I think, boxing, some other
all that for.
So if anything,
less than $20 a month for us.
DAZN, whatever you want to call it, is a godsend for Canadians.
Oh
yeah. Even in the US, they have this thing called Peacock now, and I'm like, wow, DAZN is actually awesome.
Yeah, Peacock sounds terrible.
If I'm honest, if I'm DAZN, this is me saying, let's move into the British market and offer our services there.
Well, they definitely tried to do that, but I think the Premier League in the future are probably going to try to make their own pay-per-view system or their own streaming service.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it many months ago.
Okay, I was just going to say, it's like, imagine if from a North American perspective or a Canadian, I don't think I would ever want to pay $25 just to watch a hockey game. As a big ice hockey fan, I wouldn't do that.
I know I've pay-per-views for big boxing events or MMA stuff like that, UFC. I know they can get up there. I remember the Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather fight. I believe the pay-per-view was $75 Canadian, and that was probably about 6-7 years ago. So that was a lot of money. I remember that.
McGregor,
but those are one-time things kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like if the Champions League final,
on a match day in the Premier League, you can have 6 games. Imagine wanting to sit there all afternoon, wanting to watch even 2 or 3 games, spending $25 Canadian every game. That's ridiculous.
And apparently for West Brom supporters, I think for the next month, they have 3 games they'd have to pay for if they want to watch on TV, which would be £45, which is ridiculous.
Could you imagine, you want to watch your club, so you have to pay £25 or $25, and then you have the Manchester Derby is next. Oh, you have to pay another bit, It's
that would likely be on TV, but you're also already paying for TV for I don't know how much.
Yeah.
I think it's a ridiculous price. And now, to put this in perspective, obviously football's cheaper in Canada probably because there's less demand for it, which means the price has to be low. In England, the demand is so high that the price is going to be high, but it is also pushing people away from affording the game.
The age of like internet and everything, where there's so many different streaming services, people are just going to go look on Reddit or go on different illegal streamings. Why would you pay that much money for the BBC or the Sky coverage?
Or even VPNs.
Yeah, those are huge now.
Yeah, so it's ridiculous, and it's unfortunate for what's happening to the game in England, really.
Yeah.
It's the age-old issue of sports. It's
money.
They start off for the people and they become pay to play.
Yeah.
In this case, pay to watch.
I mean, yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Premier League, or was it the Premier League or the FA that gave a £5 million send-off gift to a retiring CEO who was on a £900K salary a year.
Yeah.
The rich get richer, Lucas.
Yeah. Before we get into questions, I just want to cover some things I found around the internet. Henry Winter, this is what he says about the whole MUFC Liverpool. They're trying to take over the Prem. He says some good in the MUFC LFC Perry plan. £250 million to the EFL, £100 million to the FA. But let's be quite clear, it's a blatant power grab. It allows the Big Six to run English football, and it will lead to a European Super League.
100%.
Yeah. What are some other things? There's something to do with Tottenham. Harry Kane has suffered a muscle injury. Tottenham do not want Kane to play against Belgium in the UEFA Nations League. England refusing to release a striker from national duty. Gareth Southgate says there is a lot riding on the game for both teams. Jose Mourinho is probably so pissed.
Yeah, Harry Kane did come on later in that match.
Oh my god. There was some news regarding Manchester United, of course. Now these are kind of rumors. Did you hear about Bruno Fernandes?
Was he
absolutely pissed? He was pissed in the dressing room.
Yeah, he fight everyone.
He was saying something towards Harry Maguire, how he's not deserving of wearing the armband, and then I think he was also questioning Ole's tactics.
He's kind of right.
And honestly, let's be honest here. That's what you want from your players, in a sense.
Yeah.
You want them to actually fight for the club. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically what he says. It's like, are we fighting for Manchester United? Do we deserve to be wearing these shirts?
Yeah, 100%.
So,
because a lot of your players do not.
I mean, Harry Maguire is he really suited to be captain right now? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't think he should have gotten the captaincy after what happened.
No, exactly. Well,
but at the same time, I'm also thinking, who else do you give it to in that squad?
Other than Rashford, yeah.
I also read some other
credit
things
to Rashford.
United.
Actually, I want to tell about Rashford quickly.
Okay, go ahead.
He got the MBE from the Queen for his work during the COVID crisis. So, shout out to him. That's actually a fantastic thing he's done. I hope it inspires a couple more footballers to do the same.
What's an MBE, just to make people clear?
I don't know the exact. I mean, let me Google it.
It's like, isn't it below knighthood?
I mean, it's kind of like the Queen says you've done a good job kind of thing. Let me just see.
Oh, okay. So I found what Bruno Fernandes was saying. Sorry, Liam.
Yeah, you go while I find. Yeah.
So this is according to the Mirror. Don't know how reliable that is, honestly. He laid into teammates, accusing them of not upholding the proud name of Manchester United. He kept yelling, "We are supposed to be Manchester United. This shouldn't be happening." It was quite clear. It was clear that the manager also came under fire because he was going on about the wrong tactics. And let's be fair here. Ole has not had the
An MBE stands for a member of the Order of the British Empire. It's a third highest ranking order of the British Empire, and it's just a award for someone making a positive impact in their line of work.
Yeah.
So of course, Rashford did a lot during COVID.
Yeah, no,
he did a
very
fantastic
good
job.
Yeah. I'm sorry to stay on the topic of Manchester United. There was some things that came out. Well, there was another. Supposedly, Ed Woodward was begging the Glazers to cough up the money for Jadon Sancho, but the Glazers were like, no, because of COVID and whatnot, we just don't have the money to fund something like that. So
maybe is that do you think that's true, or is that something Ed Woodward may release to make him not look as bad?
Ed Woodward's an absolute joke. Man doesn't deserve his job.
And also with the Premier League pay-per-view thing, apparently only Leicester opposed it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Good.
I don't know.
There was also, I heard things about United, like Ole wanted to sign Upamecano. He had a list of players and he never got them.
Lucas, can you make a TikTok for me of every single time Waza said Upamecano wrong?
Oh.
Upamecano.
Upamecano, apologies.
Not Upamecano, Upamecano.
Oh, okay, Upamecano. There we go. We finally got it. Yeah. Yeah, it's depressing time to be a United supporter. At least we got Tellez and Cavani, right?
Well, do we want to talk about transfers real quick then? Because transfer deadline day did pass.
That's where you're wrong. It's domestic transfers are still
domestic. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but yes, whatever.
Apparently, we're trying to get Jack Butland.
Yeah, you are there. I read something like, if you were to sign Jack Butland, he would start against Everton. I was like, Jesus God.
Yeah, I don't know how I think about that.
Yeah.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin's gonna tear it apart.
I don't know. I wasn't on the last two podcasts. I don't know how much you guys covered. I don't know, like how far back.
It's mostly just like what happened on deadline day is what we haven't got.
What happened on deadline day, Greg?
There's a lot.
Yeah, Fulham got a lot of players.
Yes,
Oh, exceptional.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek on loan, quality signing. Hopefully, it's able to help keep us up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of money with her wages, but you know.
Hopefully he can find some form, because I think he's dipped form the past 2-3 years.
Yeah, he's been hit by injuries and everything. Yeah. He was saying under quality Scott Parker can get it going.
You talked about Liverpool potentially making a signing with Jack Butland. West Ham supposedly have agreed to deal with Mr. Benrahma.
Benrahma, yeah.
30 million. That'd be a good deal for them.
But
Fulham are still kind of in the mix for that too, which would be funny.
But the thing
Why
is,
do you go to Fulham? That's not a step up.
Thing is,
they're right down there next.
West Ham sold Diangana for 12 million, was it, to West Brom, who plays in the same position, just for them to buy Benrahma for 30 million.
Yeah,
but they think he's a better investment, right? They can sell him on in a couple of years for 60.
But they could have sold Diangana for more in the future too. He's young. He's younger. He's actually did perform well in the championship last year. He's been performing well in the Premier League so far this season. So
well, because they let Felipe Anderson go on loan to Porto, so.
And then obviously Partey, he joined Arsenal. And we've mentioned the Manchester United signings.
That's a huge signing. That's a huge signing for Arsenal, honestly.
Yeah, that's desperately a position filled that they needed.
But that's a player that, at least in my opinion, should have gone to a team of higher caliber. So obviously Arsenal really want to push for that top caliber side.
Yeah, I think it's their number one target, and they got the man. Only problem I've heard about him is that he does make a lot of mistakes on the ball, but then again, that can be coached, that can be improved upon. He's fantastic in many parts of the game, great on the ball. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays. I do feel bad. It sucks for Atletico Madrid, but at the end of the day, they'll get over it.
That's where I was talking about how I think international break came at such a horrible time. And it's good to let the players gel with their new team, get more training sessions. But I was so excited to see all the new transfers from all the teams get into big matches. Of course, like Liverpool Everton is so massive. I'm really curious how that game will go and everything. So,
I know you have a very soft spot in your heart for Mr. Mario Götze. He moved to PSV.
Sad times.
Is it sad or is it happy times?
Well, whatever, man.
I would be happy for him. You know, he goes to a club where he get more game time. Hopefully, the league is not as competitive, so he'll be able to play more matches. Hopefully, without injury.
Or grueling, I guess, for him physically.
Yeah.
I think it's a good deal.
All right. Get to the questions. I think it's time.
Okay.
Just like that, Waz has decided.
All right. Waz is ready for questions.
Shout out to Jake, actually from YouTube. This is what he says. Waz, this is what he quoted me. This is the career mode. I don't want to mess around. Proceeds to give a tall 100K a week.
When I was editing that, I was so confused why you did that.
Well, I was honestly watching back that video. I did not realize you spent 90 million on the player.
Okay, you know what? I thought it was 75. I don't know what happened there. Let's not talk about that move. Let's get to TikTok questions, lads. I got a few. First question. Have we answered this? Prime Suarez or Prime Lewandowski?
We
answered it on our TikTok live.
I think we answered
We've
that.
Definitely answered. I feel like we.
But either way, I'm going to go Suarez.
It's Suarez, yeah.
Suarez at Liverpool is a different animal, but Robert Lewandowski has been like fine wine. He ages so well. He's been so consistent over the years. So
well, Suarez is literally one of Barca's best ever goal scorers, though.
And when he was in the Prem, he was unstoppable before he moved. He literally would shoot from anywhere and he would go in almost. It felt like
you're praising Suarez so much, but you're still.
Yeah, I think I would take Prime Suarez.
Okay, there you go.
Do you guys have a podcast? This is kind of a troll question. Yes, we do. The 90th Minute Podcast. Hello, thank you.
You're on it. Not only do we have it, but you're on it.
No, that was actually a comment on TikTok. Back to actual.
I think a lot of people. You know, we get the comments on our TikTok. So, do you have a YouTube channel or something? So please, yes, YouTube. We have Spotify, Apple, everything.
Yeah, give us a shout. Give us a listen.
Not only do we do the podcast, but we do like RTGs, we do foots, we do career modes, we do lots. We're
trying to do more.
Real life football. You can see my crossbar challenge banger.
Yes.
Next question. How do you feel about James destroying the Prem with the new Everton team now? I wouldn't say he's been destroying. He's been doing very well.
When he came in, he came in like he's been at that side for years. Is what it looked like, honestly.
His influence is what Chelsea supporters have been wanting from Kai Havertz, but he's been phenomenal.
I mean, Kai Havertz is 21. James has been doing it for a while. Sorry, Liam.
I think when Everton signed James Rodriguez, I think we all kind of asked the same questions. Which James Rodriguez is Everton going to get? Are they going to get one that is world class, or are they going to get one that is a bit washed up, a bit past his best? His heart's not in it as much. And I think ultimately what we've seen is we've gotten world class James Rodriguez. We're seeing him playing under a manager that he really, really likes in Carlo Ancelotti. We're seeing him with a good team around him. The midfield is very comfortable together, it seems. They have a decent enough backline. They got a very informed Dominic Calvert-Lewin scoring the goals. Everton are for real right now, and I think if I'm Mr. Lucas, I would be rather worried about this coming up Merseyside derby, because I'm going to say that Liverpool is going to be blue for this week.
I mean, you can have that opinion, Liam. You can have that opinion.
I really wish. Make sure to check out the last podcast, because I really wish Liam was here for the 7-2 thrashing.
Well, yeah. With that, I was just gonna say James has definitely influenced Everton by a lot. I mean, top of the league right now. They're top of the league, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's Leicester? Okay, yeah. So
Leicester lost.
Oh, yeah, right. Anyways, yeah, I really like the way Everton's been playing. Carlo Ancelotti clearly has a plan. Their midfield has been fantastic.
Yeah,
So
he got the players he wanted.
Yeah,
and he's there, and they're all thriving.
There was a lot of question marks surrounding. Oh, is he good enough for the Prem? Can he adapt to the Prem? I think he's adapted to the Prem pretty well.
He's done very well.
Your next question, I kind of like this from Danny. But why does Ronaldo get hate for scoring and missing penalties? I've never seen Messi get that sort of hate.
I mean, Messi definitely got hate for missing penalties.
Do you remember the Copa America?
Yeah. But I think it's fair to say that I think Ronaldo does get a little bit more hate than Messi. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
I think it's because he's such of a loud player, you know. He's got that ego about himself.
He loves the spotlight.
Exactly. And whenever you have that spotlight and you're that loud, people are gonna hate. Like, I guess Conor McGregor is an example. He's loud, people hate it.
Yeah, well, Messi's the little magician that just goes around nice and quiet, but he's an absolute goat. And Ronaldo is CR7, right? Like that's how you say it.
Sorry, he'll score a penalty and he'll do the most ridiculous celebration. You know, he'll take off his shirt for scoring a penalty, and people are like, "Well, why are you scoring a penalty?" Why do you have to
Just
do
to
that?
quickly mention, was you said Leicester were top of the table? No,
Yeah.
it is Everton. Second place is Aston Villa.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that.
So yeah, I think Ronaldo just gets more hate because he's more of a louder figure. I guess you could say.
Under that spotlight,
Yeah. Would you rather have prime Bale or prime Thierry Henry on your team? Man,
Let me tell you
without a
something.
doubt, Thierry Henry.
Gareth Bale is one of my all-time favorite players in terms of when he was at Tottenham. What he did, he inspired me so much. But
Thierry
if
on
anyone choose Gareth Bale over Thierry Henry, one of the greatest in the game's history. Nah, that's not it. That's not
Thierry
it, son.
Henry 100%. Like
A special sauce.
Question is, how many Premier Leagues does Bale have? None. Thierry Henry, he did some special things.
Well, I mean, you can say more things other than team trophies. You can talk about individual things, like him having the
How much of a ball-
he's now tied with the Premier League assist record. He's one of the top goal scorers in Premier League history.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
still, I think any day many would say Henry.
Nah.
it's Thierry Henry.
The only
Yeah.
fault you can give Thierry Henry is that in cup finals he was a little He missed a lot of good chances and didn't score many cup final goals. But then again, Gareth Bale, Tottenham.
While Bale comes off the bench in the Champions League final, scores a bicycle kick.
Well, no, that was not at Tottenham though.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Pirlo or Xavi?
Xavi.
That's a tough one.
I love Pirlo, but Xavi was.
Both
I think Xavi
were.
is more well-rounded.
I don't know. I think you can say that maybe about Pirlo though. I think Pirlo.
Xavi is a little bit better defensively.
I think argue maybe Pirlo's more defensive.
What?
I
But
don't know.
maybe not. You can, I could be wrong about that one.
That one's definitely
I would take
close,
Xavi over Pirlo though.
I like Pirlo though.
I like both are ballers.
Because Xavi along with Iniesta, of course, made that Barcelona and Spain midfield tick, and he could literally pass to anyone. He can be surrounded by 7 players and still somehow get to the ball to Messi across the field. He was one of the most intelligent players in football history.
I think you have to big credit to Pirlo, who adapted his game later on in his career and pretty much
100%.
rejuvenated himself and became an even better, important player for a top team in Italy. But Xavi is one of the best players of this generation, and I think he is going to be remembered as one of the best midfielders of all time.
Yeah.
Pirlo was able though to use absolute intelligence to let the ball do all the work. Like I said, he would stroll around the pitch, get a hold of the ball, make fantastic passes, and he would look like he wasn't doing anything, but at the same time he was pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
And I gotta build. I think he made a certain Paul Pogba look good.
I was actually going to comment on that. I felt like he's the type of midfielder that makes others around him look better.
Paul Pogba was never a £100 million player. He was just next to Andrea Pirlo.
No, I did say Xavi was one of the best of all time. Obviously, Pirlo is as well. I just think Xavi was better.
Xavi's a little better, yeah.
Next question from Bostas. I don't know how to feel about this one. Is Mohamed Salah the most selfish player of Liverpool right now?
Yes. But he's also the best at Liverpool.
I feel like Mo Salah is one of the more disrespected players in the Prem. Everyone's
Liam, no. Why do you say that, Liam? Though.
What?
Why do you think that?
That he's the best, or that he's selfish?
Selfish. Just
because every goal scorer in the history of the world will tell you the same thing. If you're going to be the top goal scorer, you're going to be selfish.
Yeah.
You're gonna want to take all the chances. You're gonna take shots that maybe are not the best option, but you see something and maybe you're trying a little bit. You ask Sergio Aguero,
because my point here is I agree with you. If you're an informed player, you're gonna shoot, which you should. Anything can go in the net if you take a shot.
I remember an interview with Ian Wright, and he was saying about how when he was at Arsenal, everyone was so competitive and everyone was so selfish that there'd be like fist fights nearly over food because everyone wanted to just be the one to get all the food first. They wanted to win like the games of like poker in the back room. Like they were so competitive. And that went onto the field where everyone wanted that goal. There was a chance in front of the net. You weren't going to pass it. You were going to take that shot on because you believed that you were capable of scoring that goal. So yes, Mo Salah is selfish, but he deserves it.
I mean,
Lucas, what do you think?
I think Liam said it best.
Yeah.
And obviously, like Firmino, he's not a selfish player, which is why maybe his goal scoring record isn't that high. But that allows other players like Mo Salah to be selfish.
That's why Lucas plays him at midfield.
It was more Rasta's idea.
Well, okay then. Thank you. You guys said everything. Who do you think is going to win the Prem this year? Now, this is more so a different question. I'm gonna lead this into something else. Do you think the Prem is more wide open than ever now because of how the season has started with Everton at the top and so many mixed results for the big teams? Do you think this can be anyone's Prem right now?
It's still
can
so
an Everton win it?
It's so early. A difference definitely with this year is Liverpool's not undefeated until so late in.
Not just that, but does the implications of COVID make it more seemingly so that a team like Everton can win the Premier League?
100%. See, now how I see it still, though, is the top teams like Liverpool and Manchester City and stuff have the depth if their players get COVID. So, for example, Liverpool had 2 players, maybe more now, I don't even know actually, that got sick and they couldn't play for their match. If like West Brom, it's like 2 or 3 best players got injured, how screwed would that team be? It's like that.
Celtic are going to be absolutely screwed this next week.
Yeah.
Rangers, we have no Hudson Edward, no Ryan Christie. What?
Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, Liverpool were they're getting more COVID cases right now. Like, Keita, apparently him and a couple other players from his country have tested positive. So like, Inter Milan is becoming Inter Miami.
Yeah.
Do you get the joke?
Inter Milan is becoming Inter Miami?
Because there's getting a lot of COVID cases in the team, and there's a lot of COVID cases in Florida where Miami is.
I see what he's doing.
That was a joke.
That's a classic Lucas joke, though. But,
that is right there.
But I feel like it's
it's higher than what?
Hey, at least I explained this one well.
Yeah.
Usually, Lucas, if you have to explain your joke, not a good joke.
Yeah,
or
like
maybe
whatever.
I'm done. Any YouTube questions? I'm sure there were.
Apologies, but I cannot pronounce your name. It's Icelandic. Hey guys, love your podcast. What do you think of the 2 Icelanders in the Premier League, Sigurdsson in Everton and Gudmundsson in Burnley? Apologies if I butchered those, man. I would check out Iceland versus Romania on Thursday. Have a nice guy, fan from Iceland and Man United. Aw. Well, Sigurdsson definitely isn't the same player he was a couple years ago. He was definitely a top player for Everton. He was exciting to watch. He was great for Iceland. The other player, Gudmundsson, I can't really comment too much.
I like him. I like him a lot, actually.
Go ahead. Yeah, take the stage, Liam.
Well, he's a very hard worker. I think he fits in well at Burnley. He's a decent enough player for them. But yeah, like Sigurdsson, his legs are gone. His past is best. He'll probably be looking for a move away the next year or 2 here.
But he was classed for Everton.
He was very good. He's on the ball, set pieces. He was very, very good.
I don't think he was amazing for Everton. I think he was better when he was at Swansea.
Yes, 100%.
But he's still a good player.
Good. And then Gudmundsson, I do like him. I like a lot of Icelandic players. They're just good people.
Apparently, you know, Good Johnson.
Yes, Eidur Good Johnson.
Yeah, apparently, you know, he played for Barcelona, right? Apparently, his son joined the Real Madrid academy.
His son, who did he play for? I remember his son. I remember hearing about him a couple of years ago.
He's now at the Real Madrid academy, so.
Here's an interesting comment. Talking about documentaries, I think if they made one of Villa in the last few seasons, it would be mad. Misses out on promotion, almost goes into administration, switches managers in the next season, is 15th in March, gets to the playoffs and wins promotion, rebuilds squad and scrapes safety, and now we're strengthening. It'd be a nice documentary because I think we were talking about documentaries last time. It was kind of more of a joke how they're gonna make DVDs about Villa's win over Liverpool, but yeah,
I mean,
like that idea.
That's something you can make a movie about.
Yeah.
Villa is definitely an interesting club because they were like a top Prem team.
Look, if Sunderland can get a documentary series, I think Aston Villa can get one. Be more exciting, more promising players.
I wonder if there's going to be another All or Nothing coming out on Amazon next year.
Probably not from this season, but probably
see.
next season.
Yeah. Nobody. The 90th minute. Austin Villa. We say Austin.
Austin. It's Matt. Honestly, Matt does it.
I've improved.
And Lucas.
I don't say it as much anymore.
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa. Not
all. No, I remember in the last podcast. I actually remember Matt was talking about him. He just kept saying Aston Villa, and I'm just like, we're probably gonna get roasted for that.
our next team to practice with Lucas is Tottenham.
What did I say wrong?
You say Tottenham.
Tottenham.
You're like Maurizio Pochettino. Pochettino said Tottenham.
He's a plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mauricio Pochettino's a plastic because he said Tottenham, right? So he shouldn't be able to coach another English team ever again.
So Tottenham
because he said that.
Tottenham.
You just don't pronounce the second T's. Tottenham.
Tottenham. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we have a few questions.
Tottenham. That's
Tottenham.
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, I'll practice off camera.
Good.
Can you talk about Spurs signing Vinicius? They signed Vinicius.
Not the right Vinicius though.
I mean, I've heard good things about him, but I don't know much about him. I've never really seen him play.
Don't watch the league in NOS, unfortunately.
Hopefully Jose gets the best out of him.
Could you imagine if Spurs had pulled off a double swoop of Real Madrid wingers?
Oh god.
Vinicius
when it came up saying they signed Vinicius, I was like,
huh?
Wait, what?
Vinicius Spurs. Let me just take a Google really.
So I didn't see like the official like transfer go through. All I saw was like it was like Spurs posting something saying, "Oh, we got a defender. We didn't." Or like the past like few years because they haven't signed a striker in forever.
Well,
and it's defenders, midfields, attackers. Oh, we finally got a striker. I'm like,
yeah, they got Carlos Vinicius on loan from Benfica, which thank God because Jose was looking for a striker in the market for a while.
They definitely needed a backup striker in case Harry Kane gets injured.
Question: is Ederson better than Alisson? Oh, I think it's very even.
I would have Alisson in my team.
I think I prefer Alisson, even though he's been a little bit shaky, possibly injury prone. I think it's better to say.
I mean, I think saying injury prone to him is a little unfair.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know. I think Ederson and Alisson I'd probably give the edge to him in Ederson in distribution, but I think Alisson is a better shot stopper, is a better goalie position-wise, makes better decisions. Although that's not taking anything away from Ederson, who is a fantastic keeper as well.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is Brazil's really lucky to have two fantastic keepers right now in case anything goes wrong for World Cup coming up.
Thiago Ramos says, Liam, can we confirm this or not? You're not on vacation. You were actually intervened by Lewis Dunk. Did he kidnap you and do things? No?
No.
You cannot confirm or deny. Okay.
No,
Not gonna lie, quite pissed you didn't cover the Arsenal game last week. Arsenal have a quality manager. They're making good signings. It wasn't the craziest. There was a lot of craziness happening last week. We apologize.
Who asked that question?
It was Mr. Faded.
Faded, I apologize. I wasn't there. These other Muppets can't figure their lives out.
We did say quickly they won 2-1 over Sheffield United.
Yeah. But
Sheffield United's first goal of the Premier League season.
And then last thing I'm going to touch on is, as a Southampton fan in the States, life is rough when all my friends are Chelsea and City fans. Greg
Stick
feels
by
you.
your club. Stick by your club and be proud that you're the only one that you know.
Oh yeah, Liam, there's a question from YouTube, I think, last week that asked, what club would you support if you weren't supporting your club right now? So if you weren't supporting Celtic, who would you support?
Liam, if you had a Prem team, who would it be? How
Bloody
about that?
Spurs.
I mean, I've never really had a Prem team, so I've like gravitated to like players or managers and stuff like that. So if you were to ask me probably like nearly a decade ago, I would have said Tottenham because Gareth Bale, and I would have really enjoyed how they played. Currently, I would say I really enjoy Liverpool's style of play, but I'm not going to go for Liverpool. I'm going to say the player that I would follow right now would be Adama, so I'm going to go for Wolves.
You know, it was funny. I don't know if you got that far into the podcast, Liam, but Matt was saying I'd be a Real Madrid supporter.
You would?
Do you think that, or would I rather be? Do you think you could see me being a Bayern supporter?
Probably Bayern.
Thank you.
I couldn't see you being a Real Madrid fan.
No.
Anyways,
Let's wrap this up.
Let's
Yeah.
wrap her up. That'd be
Right
actually a
on
really
time.
good podcast. I really enjoyed that actually.
it's good to have you back.
But if you have made it this far, we greatly appreciate your support. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You know, give us your thoughts on everything we've talked about and give us your questions for next week's podcast. Like I said, links are in the description for our social medias and our audio app, so you feel free to check those out. And make sure you've watched our episode 1 of our career mode that started up because that was fantastic. Thank you, Lucas, for editing all through the night. You're a lovely human being. But from all of us at the 90th minute, this has been yet another week in the beautiful game. We will see you next time.
Congratulations, Lakers.